Most ideas don't arrive finished. They show up half-formed, uncomfortable, and a little dangerous. This is one that I've been sitting with. I want to start somewhere that shouldn't be controversial. Every human decision is made inside a body. Not metaphorically, literally. There is no thought that occurs outside chemistry. No judgment that floats free of hormones, drives, fatigue, fear, or desire. I used to think we all agree on that. But the longer I paid attention, the more I noticed something strange. It isn't that biology influences judgment, it's when we decide that fact suddenly matters, and when we pretend it doesn't. Because when women are evaluated for leadership, biology becomes very loud in the conversation. Hormones, emotions, mood, variability, these aren't treated as neutral facts. They are treated as liabilities. Even when no evidence of impairment exists, the possibility is enough to raise suspicion. The body becomes a question mark. But when men are evaluated for leadership, something very different happens. Male biology doesn't disappear, it's just renamed. Male sexual motivation is continuous. It's highly reactive to power, status, validation, and dominance. It biases attention towards novelty, rivalry, risk-taking, and legacy. And here's the key part. Subjectively, it doesn't feel like impairment. It feels like clarity, like certainty, like drive. Culturally, we reward it. We call it ambition, confidence, strength, vision. We almost never stop to ask whether it distorts judgment at all. This is the part where I had to stop and check myself. Because I realized how easily I could list female biological influences and how rarely I'd ever interrogated male ones. Not because they weren't there, but because they felt like strength, and that's the trick. Because these pressures don't stay personal, they scale. They shape sensitivity to humiliation, escalation behavior, obsession with reputation, the refusal to appear weak, the need to be seen as formidable. And when those traits are paired with authority, they don't disappear. They become policy. They become doctrine, and eventually they draw borders and justify wars. History does not show a pattern of instability driven by female biological variability. It shows repeated conflicts shaped by pride, conquest, ego injury, sexual insecurity, and unchecked desires. Private impulses given public power. When this is pointed out, a familiar move appears. We're told women in power were more aggressive. The queens waged more wars. That women acted up to prove they were just as strong as men. But that explanation quietly assumes the very thing it claims to explain. In many historical cases, women rulers were attacked more frequently because they were perceived as weak. Because male leaders believed women should not govern at all. Aggression wasn't proof of volatility. It was often a response to constant threat. In other words, the behavior is read without the context that produced it. Male aggression is treated as natural, unremarkable, expected. Female aggression is treated as evidence. The asymmetry isn't in biology, it's in interpretation. Even when research examines aggression in women, it's often deployed selectively, not to understand behavior, but to neutralize criticism, as if saying, women can be aggressive too. somehow erases the fact that male aggression, when paired with power, has defined the shape of history. Religion didn't invent this pattern, but it reflects it clearly. Across cultures, women are assigned responsibility for sexual order. Male desire is treated as inevitable, something to manage, redirect, forgive, rarely to interrogate. The result isn't the denial of male biological vulnerability, it's its relocation away from men onto women. So the asymmetry isn't that one sex is biological and the other isn't. It's that biological influences associated with dominance and expansion are normalized, while those associated with variability, caution, or restraint are framed as risks. This isn't an argument about who should lead. Most people shouldn't. It's an argument about consistency. If biological influence on judgment matters, then it has to matter honestly, not selectively, not conveniently, not only when it reinforces existing power. Because the most dangerous biological bias is the one we refuse to see, especially when it feels like strength. Thank you.